कार्टून दिखते हैं. Good morning all.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Yeah. How many of the? Acha, only 25 students have joined. No, 24. Fine. Without wasting a single minute, we'll start. You all can see me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So today what we will do is we'll start with transportation problems, the first subtopic of our first chapter. My humble request to any one of you is you will be ready with the calculator, and as and when I'll tell you, just give me the figures, right? So anyone, just volunteer yourself. I'll write a problem and then we'll discuss about this problem. I'll explain each and every detail of the problem written on the blackboard. In case you are not understanding, please interrupt me and immediately ask me. A simple problem of transportation where supply and demand is shown and the matrix shows the cost of respective demand center and supply center transportation. Is it visible now? The board is visible. Can you see the figures clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Great. Very good. This is a simple transportation problem where row wise I have given the supply centers. We have 4 supply centers, S1, S2, S3 and S4. In demand, we have 3 demand centers, D1, D2, D3. You can consider supply centers as different states and demand as again different states. So when we supply something from S1 to D1, 1 per unit cost will be 3. Similarly, from S1 to D2 per unit cost will be 2, and from S1 to D3 per unit cost will be 1 respectively. So you can understand what we have written. Total supply availability at S1 is 20, at S2 is 50, at S3 is 30, and at S4 is 25. Whereas the demanded quantity at D1 is 40, D2 is 30, and D3 is 55. The first step while solving this problem is you have to remember the total of demanded quantity and the total of supply quantity should always be same. So we'll just check whether it is same or not. It is 125. Yes, it is same, right? In case it would have been 50. So here the total would have been 120. I hope you all understand this. 40, 30 and 50 becomes 120. So in this case, what we can do, we have to put one more dummy demand center. We'll put 0 cost and the remaining 5 units will place there. The given problem will be called as unbalanced problem. We'll see unbalanced problem later on. Once again, I'll tell you, wherever there is a deficiency, add dummy column. In this case, column. If there is a deficiency in row or supply, just add one more dummy supply center. Put all the cost as or supply cost as 0 and put the difference. This will be the first step while solving transportation problem. Now, before moving ahead, there are different methods to solve transportation problem. The first method is north-west corner method. Second is matrix minimum method or least cost method. And third is Vogel's approximation method. We'll see all the three one by one, but all the three gives us initial feasible solution. Initial feasible solution means we get certain set of figure which is not the final solution or which is not the optimal solution. So to get the optimal solution, we have to use Modi method. And what is this Modi method? MO stands for modified, DI stands for distribution. So modified distribution method we have to use to get.
Excuse me, sir.
The screen दिसत नाहीये.
The screen has gone, sir.
It's not visible, ma'am.
Now you can see?
Yes,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Now, once again, I'll repeat. There are three different methods to solve the given problem for initial feasible solution: northwest corner method, matrix minimum or least cost method, and Vogel's approximation method. Clear? Now, to get the final optimal solution, we have Modi method. Modi method is also called as modified distribution method. Modified distribution method or stepping stone method. Now what we will do is we'll solve this problem by all the three methods, that is northwest corner method, matrix minimum and VAM method. We'll start with first. Please pay attention. I'll use northwest corner. Northwest corner method, always we will start from left hand side, top corner. Please remember, we start with northwest corner method, left hand side top corner of the matrix. The first step I have already explained. Whatever problem is given to you, always check whether the given problem is balanced or not. What I mean by balanced is whether the supply quantity and demanded quantity is equal or not. I hope you understand this. The second step is to get the initial feasible solution. I'll start with this. Please understand this. The demand at this center is 40, whereas supply is 20. It means at this center I can supply only 20 units. So how many units I left with? Still I left with 20 demand. Is it clear? Is it clear? See, once again I tell you, I have allocated this supply quantity here because I can supply only 20 and demanded is 40. So I left with 20 and this supply is exhausted. So I cannot move this side. True? Why? Because the supply is 0. What I will do is I'll move downwards because still there is a demand of 20 units. At this center, I have a supply of 50 units. So if I supply 20 here, I left with 30. The demand is exhausted or fulfilled at this center. So what will happen is I cannot move downwards. So what I have to do is I have to move towards right hand side. The demanded quantity is 30. I have 30. So supply is exhausted, demand is fulfilled. Is it clear till this step?
Yes,
Now,
sir. Yes,
please-
sir.
That's great. That's great. Please pay attention. We cannot move forward. Why? Because the supply is exhausted. I cannot move downwards because demand is exhausted. Through 0, 0. So what best I can do is I can go diagonally downwards. That is at S3, D3. The supply is 30 and demand is 55. So how much I can supply? 30. This will be exhausted. I left with 25. Now, this is exhausted. I cannot move towards right hand side. There are no more supply demanded centers, so I will move downwards. The supply is 25 and demand is 25. Both get exhausted. This is initial feasible solution, northwest corner method. Now, you will ask me, sir, how much is initial feasible solution? I'll tell you how to calculate it. But before that, try and understand what is this? These figures are cost. If I supply 1 unit from S1 to D1, I have to spend 3 rupees. And how many I am supplying? 20. So total cost of S1 to D1 will be 60 rupees. Is that clear? 20 into 3. From S2 to D1, the per unit cost is, transportation cost is 2. And I am supplying 20. So the total cost is 40. What we will do is, we will note down all the costs and supplied units. So this is 60, this is 40, then 30, because 2 is the cost.
120. 30 into 4. 30 into 4, 120.
120, yeah. Now, this is 25 into 7. How much it will be?
175.
That's
Yes,
correct.
sir.
Get me the total of this. Anyone pass?
$455.
455.
Pardon? 455.
455, sir.
455.
455. Sagar, 455 or 255?
455, sir.
455. I'll note down the initial feasible cost. Please remember, by northwest corner method, the total transportation cost will be 465. Clear? Total cost is 455. If I supply 125 units to different demanded centers, the cost will be 455. But as I told you, this is initial feasible solution. It is not optimal solution. We will see Modi method once we will complete matrix minimum and VAM method. Look at this problem. I give you 2-3 minutes. Try and understand the steps. These steps are very easy, logically correct. In case of any problem, please let me know. If done, I'll start with matrix minimum method. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Everybody, is it okay? This is northwest corner method. This is very simple and straight. What we are doing is we are just checking demand and supply quantity. Whichever is less, we will allocate it. And we will go further with the logic. With the logic means why I cannot allocate anything here, because supply is exhausted. Why I cannot allocate anything here? Why? Because demand is fulfilled. This is the logic behind this. Fine. Now we will start with matrix minimum method. With the same problem, I'll show you how to solve this by matrix minimum method. Yes. The second method is matrix minimum method. Matrix minimum method, as the name itself implies, we need to choose the minimum cost. Minimum among all. There are two minimum costs, 1 and 1. Now your question should be, on which one will start allocating the units? To this, my answer will be, if I allocate to this S1 D3 center, I can allocate only 20, right? Whereas if I consider this S2, I can allocate 50. Why? Because the demanded quantity is 55, right? So always see to it that with the minimum transportation cost, you should be able to transport maximum units. So we will not allocate at this center. We will allocate here 50. I left with 5. This is exhausted. Now, to
Excuse
make
me,
the,
sir.
yeah, please.
So why did you choose S2, sir? I don't understand that.
Why to S2? Check this. If I allocate here, the demand is 55, whereas the supply is only 20 units. So how much you can supply? Maximum 20. True. Whereas if I consider this one, because both are minimum, both are 1, both are minimum cost. So if I supply at this, how much I can supply? I have 50 units and demanded is 55. So I can supply 50, the whole supply units to this center, that is S2 D3, and that's why I have considered this. The logic behind this is the total transportation cost should be minimum. Correct? I hope you understood. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what I have done to make the calculations easy, I have cut the complete row. Why? Because the supply is 0. So this S2 will not help us in solving this problem further. That's why I have scratched it. Now, the next minimum is 1. Correct? The demand is 5. I have 20 units. Though the demand is, the supply is 20, but the demand is only 5. I'll supply 5 units here. This will be 0. I left with 15. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Once again,
Yes, sir.
yeah. The supply is 20. Demand is only 5 units. That's why I have supplied 5. The demand is exhausted and supply is 15. Now, I'll scratch this. Why? Because this is, the demand is fulfilled. Among the open costs, the minimum is 2. Minimum is 2. So this center, the supply is 15 and demand is 30. I can only supply 15 units and this supply will be exhausted. I repeat, the next minimum number is 2, demand is 30, supply is only 15. So complete supply we can exhaust here. Why? which three you will choose? If I choose this, I can allocate how much? To this three, how much I can allocate?
30 units.
30 units. Yeah. Whereas if I want to allocate at this center, the demand is only 15 and we have 30 supplies. So I can supply 15 units here. But the logic is supply maximum units at minimum cost. 3 is minimum, I can supply 30, whereas I can only supply 15 here. So what I will do is I will not consider this 3, but I will consider this 3 and supply 30. I left with 10. This is 0. I left with 4 and 6. The minimum
Sir,
is
screen is
4.
invisible. Sir,
Pardon?
screen is
Yeah.
invisible again.
Okay. Can you see the screen now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I have scratched this. We have 2 cost centers left. S4 D1 4 rupees, S4 D2 6 rupees. Logic says you should consider minimum cost 4. Demand is 10, supply is 25. So I supplied 10 units to fulfill this demand, right? So this will be cancelled. I left with only 15 units. 15 is demanded, I have 15. Always check whether everywhere you can see zeros or not. It shows that supply is exhausted and demand is fulfilled.
Sir, can you just show that S3 and D1, D2 again?
Come again, D1 and?
Not D1, not sir. Supply S3. Above
S3.
that, yeah, 3 and 3. Yeah, why we took that 3?
See, here also we have seen why we have considered this one. Why? Because at this lowest cost, we can supply maximum units. Right? Because I could supply here 50, whereas it was only 20 here. That's why I have chosen this. In this case also, at this 3, I can supply 30 units. Whereas if I choose this, demand is only 15. So I'll be able to only supply 15 units.
Okay, sir.
Correct?
Got it.
And why we are supplying maximum units? Because the total transportation cost has to be minimum. That is the logic. Let's find out the initial feasible solution. I'll start from here. It is 15 units at 2 rupees, 5 units at 1 rupee. This 50 units at 1 rupee. If I choose this is 30 into 3, that is 90. 10 units at 4 rupees, 40. 15 units at 6 rupees, how much? 90?
90.
Yeah, what will be the total now?
305.
I'll write it here. Can you see the difference? With northwest corner, we are getting 455 as initial feasible solution. It means if I use northwest corner method to supply the demanded quantities, my total cost will be 455. Whereas if I use least cost method or matrix minimum method, my total cost will be 305. It means the total cost has reduced by 150 rupees. So that 150 rupees saved is directly my profit. True or false? My question is true or false? This money saved is my profit or not? If Sagar is
Yes, sir.
using
It's saving
Not
of
the
150 rupees.
pardon?
Yes, there is a saving of 150 rupees, sir.
Yeah, we are saving 150 rupees. 150 rupees saving is directly add up to my profit.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So if Sagar is using northwest corner method and Karan is using matrix minimum method, definitely Karan is gaining more profit here. Why? Because he is spending less money. That is 305. Whereas Sagar is spending 455 rupees. Now let us see. Suppose VAM is used by Mehul. So how much cost will be there for VAM method? Vogel's approximation method. With the same problem, we'll solve this by VAM. If somebody is not understanding, please do not.
So the calculation was wrong, sir. It is not 305, it's 205, sir.
Just check again. Acha, somebody with the calculator just add it. It is 30
Yeah, sir.
plus
5,
35 plus
50,
50
50 again,
plus 90 plus 40 plus
50,
90.
30, yes.
Yes. So what is
Mehul,
the
just can
total?
you tell me the numbers again, Mehul?
I'll
305.
tell-
Yeah, because it's 305, Mehul, because you have take 30 into 350. It's 30 into 390, Mehul.
Huh.
Okay.
No problem. No problem. This is the beginning. We may come across a step of confusion, but then it is good, Mehul, that you got your confusion cleared. Thank you, Karan. I hope this is very easy. This is very easy, and this is like just playing a game. So whenever you get a free time while watching a TV or maybe while talking to your friends on phone, you may directly start solving any given problem. The only difference in the problem will be these figures will change and these costs may change. That's it. Rest everything remains same. Anybody from any part of the world, if he gives you the problem, you should be able to solve the problem. Provided you have understood the logic behind northwest corner method and matrix minimum method. Right? Acha. Now before proceeding to VAM method, one thing I would like to tell you is just check how many centers we have allocated. I think there are 6 centers. For northwest corner also it was 6 centers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It means number of rows, number of columns is 6. What is this? This is degeneracy. This is degeneracy. We are checking the number of allocated centers. Those number of allocated centers should be always equals to m plus n minus 1. Now what is m? It is number of rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why I've written 4. Whereas what is n? It is number of columns. D1, D2 and D3. 3 minus 1 is equals to 6. When now allocations and this figure matches, it shows that there is no degeneracy, right? Now what to do with this no degeneracy or degeneracy, we will say later on. Let us understand what is VAM method first, and then again we'll come back to this. If you check with northwest corner also, there also we got 6 allocations. Fine. I'll wrap this. Yes. Now we'll start with VAM method. Screen is visible. For VAM also we are considering the same matrix. Just to avoid your confusion, if I solve different problems with different methods, you may not be able to understand the logic. Again, the cost is given to us, demanded quantity and supplied quantity. The first step remains same, whether these two are balanced or not, whether the demand is equal to supply or not. If it is not equal, we may not able to complete the transportation. That's why we need to add dummy column or dummy row. Let us start with Vogel's approximation method. Vogel's approximation method, we need to understand what is the minimum cost in the given column or in the given row. Suppose I consider D1 column, the minimum is 2 and next minimum is 3. How much is the difference? The difference is 1. Am I
Sir?
clear? Yeah.
Why would we take 3 and 2 as a minimum, as 1 is also there?
No. Please try and understand. I'm talking about this column only. Consider
Okay.
this only. 2 is minimum and next minimum is 3. If you miss 2 and if you're using 3, you are spending 1 rupee more, right? This 1 rupee becomes your opportunity cost. I hope you understand opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost? Now, try and understand. If anybody does not know opportunity cost, just let me explain. If I'm teaching here and I'm getting 100 rupees, and for the same time, if I'm getting somewhere 500 rupees, and I'm still teaching you here, so my opportunity cost loss is 400 rupees.
400 rupees.
Yes. So I hope you have understood. If I'm using 3 rupees, if I allocate at this center, I will be using 1 rupee more. So difference is 1. Minimum next. Yeah. Query. Next. Minimum is 2. Next minimum is 3. 2, 4, 3, 6. So it will be always write the difference. This difference is opportunity cost. Now, in this 1 and 1, both are minimum. So the difference is 0. Please remember 1 and 1. The difference is 0. Similarly, I'll go for row. Minimum is 1. Next minimum is 2. The difference is 1. Minimum is 1. Next minimum is 2. Minimum is 2. Next minimum is 3. So the difference is 1. Minimum is 4. Next minimum is 6. The difference is 2. You understood these steps? Very simple steps. We have taken the minimum and next minimum cost of transportation and we have written the difference in the bracket. We are considering VAM method. Clear with all? Next. Now while solving this, always seek for maximum difference. It's 0, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. This is maximum difference. This maximum difference indicates I have to allocate at this row. And what I will do is I'll choose the minimum cost. Why? I cannot allocate here. I cannot allocate here. These are the costs greater than 4. So first allocation will be in this row and the minimum is 4. Demand is 40, supply can be 25. Understood this step?
सर
Yeah.
हेलो सर एकदा रिपीट करा
Yeah, yeah. Sure, sure. Have you understood this? How to take the difference?
यस सर यस सर
Okay. Now, among these difference, always go for maximum difference, and the maximum difference is 2. In this, wherever you get the difference, suppose you get the maximum difference here, then you may start from here, and you need to check this column only. But now we got the maximum difference here. That's why what we will do, we have chosen this row, and we will allocate at minimum cost. The logic remains the same.